Hello, thank you for joining us on our Cronkite News Twitch. I'm Brianna Alexander, a senior at a senior at ASU, majoring in journalism and mass communication at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. I'm also a broadcast reporter for Cronkite News, and I anchor every Monday this semester on the show. So today we're going to take you around the studio, just different parts of newsroom, studio, control room, all the areas that you'll see around Cronkite News for incoming freshmen. I'm going to share some of my experience being a freshman at ASU and answer any questions that you guys have. I'd like to start off by saying, please ask questions. I promise you there's no dumb questions. Even if you think that there are, it's online, so I can't see you anyways. So I just would love to be able to answer anything you guys have, anything you guys are wondering, and I feel like this is the perfect time to do that, especially with not being able to be in person and not being able to get that close relationship that you could get and being able to ask us questions in person. So I feel like this is a perfect opportunity, and please take advantage of it. So as you can see, starting off, this is our studio for Cronkite News. I'm gonna look and see. Okay. So if you guys look on the chat, that's where you guys can put in your questions if you guys are wondering anything. But to start off, this is our control room. You can see that we have our green screen where we usually do weather at. And then you can see that there's people in there preparing, getting ready to do today's show. We usually run the show around, we do pre-takes around 2:30, go live around 3ish, and then we're usually done with recording the show around 3:30ish, and then it will air later on and also be on our website and on our YouTube channel. So let's see. PogChamp, I am Sam Jr. Thank you for that. Okay, so I guess I can start off telling you a little bit more about me. Like I said, I am a journalism major. My name is Brianna. I've lived in Arizona for about going on 4 years since this is my senior year. I am originally from Texas, so I came all the way from Texas down here. And fun fact, I did not tour the school before I came, so I had no idea what to expect when I came down here. No idea what to expect in Arizona. I'd never even visited Arizona ever in my life. So I will say that if you're someone that's coming from out of state and you're nervous or worried, I promise you this is the perfect school to go to make you feel comfortable. And especially if you're attending the Walter Cronkite School, it's even better. It's very homey. It's smaller compared to the Tempe campus, our downtown campuses. And the Walter Cronkite School just makes it feel even more personal, honestly. Um, so you see there are a few people in the studio. Tyler, is there any way that you could take us a little bit more around, show us like the Cronkite News screens and show us around just the studio? Oh, there he is. Let's see.
Yeah, so
So,
what
what
I
I
can
can
show
show
you
you
is
is
the
got the
Harmon
whole
camera
camera
on
on
it.
it.
So
So,
what I can show
what
you
I can
is
show you
behind
is got the
me
whole camera on it.
is
So,
there's the green screen right there when we do weather. Obviously, there's you see two monitors with big TVs on both sides. So when you think someone is looking at the map on the weather wall, they're actually looking at those TVs that really cool just come right out of the ceiling. And then obviously there's that big camera you see as well. Let me see if I can actually pan this camera for us and see what we can get. There's Jenna. All right, let's see what we got. All right, so over there you see, that's our set, of course. You can kind of see over there. Reed is in the background over there somewhere. You see our floor director, camera person, executive producer. There goes Jenna, who's going to be one of our anchors today. So it's a big collaborative effort. This is the best look at the studio we can get right now, though.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Tyler. And can you show us, Are they here? Will you introduce us to some of them?
I think I can. All right. Reed, can you come here for a second? Oh, okay. We're actually about to do headlines. So, little behind the scenes of how this works. So, like Brianna was saying earlier, this is kind of difficult because we pre-record the show, and to do that, you have to practice. So the first thing that gets pre-recorded is our headlines. Obviously, that's the start of the show. That's, hey, what's coming up on Cronkite News is this, this, and that. So we're about to do that, which means the anchors are busy. They're about to read those headlines, and they're going to try to tape that for later so that we don't have to do it live, which is really nice. So they get to do it, start off with some confidence, and yeah, it's a good start. We will get them for our viewers. We'll get some intros as soon as we can, but hopefully it's going to be after headlines, and I'll keep you posted for sure. Oh? Okay, Jenna's going to give you a little behind the scenes about how an anchor mics up, because girls are obviously harder to mic up. So Jenna, tell us, how do you mic up?
How do I mic up? Well, first you gotta get one of these leg straps for the ladies.
Well, let's get you.
Hi everyone. So first, when it's a little different with girls, since we don't have like a suit or something, we gotta get one of these leg straps to put in the mic and the IFB. So I'm gonna be putting in the IFB, which basically makes it so I can hear what they're saying in there. And I'm gonna try not to. I'm gonna do this in the best way. And just tuck it in.
Normally you have someone helping you do this typically.
But that's okay. We can do it. Just gonna slide it in there in the best way. This is
the magic of TV, is that no one is going to see this normally.
No.
They just see and hear you perfectly.
We're getting there. We're showing them it.
And I swear it's a way harder process. You could probably tell. But even doing it is a struggle. Putting that mic on.
Okay. So Jenna,
We have two different mics that we use. One so that we can hear what other people are saying in the production
very,
room.
very fun. Like other reporters or anchors, you do not have a script. Tyler also does weather, so we're kind of just ad-libbing the whole time, pulling up weather maps, and just talking about the weather here in beautiful Phoenix.
How do you like it? Do you think you enjoy it?
I love this mic
I know,
situation.
it's social distancing. It's got to be.
The green screen, yes. So if you see over here, we have a couple of monitors. So we're actually looking to our left and right. We have our weather maps that we're pulling up for the day. And we're kind of looking on the side and we can see the graphics. So the green screen, obviously there's not graphics there all the time. We have to look to the monitor to see what we are talking about.
Perfect.
Here's our microphone.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that so much. I'm going to try to clip this back on the jacket. So as
Thank
you
you
guys
for that,
watched
babe.
Jenna struggle to put her mic on, for us guys, it's much easier. We just clip on the jacket here, and then it just, so I don't know if you guys can actually see Jenna. I don't think so. But so now we have it.
We got it.
You got it.
It's a back. Huh? The chaos in your back. This is
Did they get it?
Behind the scenes. Behind the scenes. Okay. So, what do we need to do?
And some
Your mic is
people,
here.
you see, she has it put right below her thigh. Some people put it on their ankles.
Oh, this is my mic.
and that
Okay.
helps a lot.
Yeah.
Now what we're gonna do.
Behind the scenes.
All right.
They're going to do headlines now.
But you would tuck it in right here. Thank you.
I'm going to let you guys see the process of doing headlines and for just a quick second, and then I'll take you around the rest of the newsroom. The question about the green screen was answered. That is why the wall is green. It helps be able to put graphics and images and pictures for whenever we do weather and other special scenes. Do anchors talk to each other during commercial breaks? Notorious wants to know. So I typically don't whenever I anchor, just because you never know if your mic might be on, and that could be really bad if you're talking and during your commercial you can hear people in the studio having conversation. So typically, no, although sometimes we'll talk right like at the ending scene, we'll say like a couple words to each other. But typically, no, we stay quiet the whole time. So while they prepare and get ready, I'm going to take you guys to the control room so you guys can see the process there when it comes to production, the production side. Cronkite.
No, not really. A little bit, but not bad.
No.
Oh, he's actually good inside.
This is our control room.
I like that a lot. We look so legit.
For Cronkite News.
Can you sound 606?
See that
Guys, I've been in that room.
directors in there.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't bode well for me.
Yeah, we can hear her.
Pressing the button. She
If
is the
you can hear me,
producer
can I
for
get a
today.
thumbs up?
Today's the latest video that everyone's been standing
Shots and making sure everything goes together and runs right.
Can't come soon enough.
And then if you see, you can see where Tyler and Jenna are getting ready to do their headlines for the show. And then above you can see, it looks like they're airing a package. So if you see the screens, you see there's two screens, one that's in black and one that you see showing someone doing a stand-up. One is in preset and one is in program. So the difference between the two is program is what's actually shown on live screen. So that's the one that you don't want to mess up because that's what other people will see. Whereas preset is what you use to set up the shots to make sure that everything looks right before you cut it to program. Interesting fact, if you guys want to get to learn around the studio, learn how to do graphics, which is the screen to the left of the person sitting down, how to learn how to direct, technical direct, how to produce, do teleprompter. We actually have here at ASU a studio production class, which is great. I actually TA some of it, depending on the semester, not every semester. And I know a few other people that TA, and they're great TAs, and the professors are usually really great. And it'll show you, that class will show you how to run a news studio. It'll do anchor positions, it'll do camera positions, it'll do weather positions, it'll do audio positions, everything you can think of to run a successful show. You'll be able to get experience in that before you come to Cronkite News or do any other job or internship that you guys want to do later. So as you can see them getting the show set up. They're running headlines right now. You see them on screen. They're most likely doing that. Looks like they're welcome. So you can see like what usually happens during that time.
Super out of focus. Did you focus on your eyes?
So you didn't roll alpha, that very first alpha. When you faded up, but you didn't roll.
Hi, can I get a quick thumbs up?
So here.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Okay.
Alright, re-cue everything, everyone.
Yep, you're good.
Hi, if you can hear me, can I get a quick thumbs up?
That's CG.
Double tapped that screen. Whenever she did that double tap, that was her saving the file so that it could later be put together, clipped and cut to use for later show. And typically whenever we do this process, we do one shot where we just practice it, do rehearsals, and then we start going into the live performances. But let's check and see what questions we have.
Hi, Jake, can I get a quick thumbs up? Just like, I don't want it to fall forward. Hi, Jake.
How do you determine which stories to cover? Be your happy ass. Whenever we determine what stories, it typically goes by what's newsworthy, what's is relevant during the time, and what we feel like needs to be covered. In terms of, socially, we have different departments here at Cronkite News. We have people that do health, we have people that do social justice, we have people that do borderlands, just a whole range. And usually those people within there would pitch a story that they feel is newsworthy, that they feel people need to know, that they feel that's being talked about a lot or maybe not being talked about a lot. And everyone I feel like has a different process for what they do whenever they pitch a story, and you guys will thankfully be able to learn a lot of that in some of our classes that we have, like broadcast reporting, television reporting. Our television reporting classes, they'll go into so much depth about how to pick a successful story and how to pick a story that will be good to put into a show, a broadcast. Yeah.
And later this half hour, I'll break it down.
How many platforms is Cronkite News on now? TV, Facebook, TikTok, Twitch. Oh, we have so many platforms now. So we have Twitch, obviously. We also are on TV, Facebook. You can see our shows on YouTube. We have an Instagram that you can go look at. And if you look at the top of the screen, we have our @. So you can go follow us on all of those, Twitter, and see latest updates. You can see the videos that we have, that we publish. You can go on our website and see whenever we air a show. We always put them on our website. So that's there. And you can look at some of our digital side of it too, because we have digital stories, of course, and we have articles and things like that you guys can read. And yeah, stay in tune to our social media at the top. Go follow. I am Sam, or S. Snows says, how long does it take to film a pre-recorded newscast? So it doesn't usually take us that long. Like I said in the beginning, we usually start doing rehearsals and things like that around 2:30ish, and we usually are finished filming the show and have all our takes in by 3:30ish. So typically, I guess about an hour to do it. We'll do a couple run-throughs doing rehearsals for the headlines. We actually do record the headlines and the rest of the show separately, and then clip them together. So it typically about an hour, about 30-minute rehearsals, 30-minute of actually doing it for real. Let's see more questions. What are all the roles in the studio? We have so many different roles in the studio. We have cameraman, we have floor director, which floor director is the person that calls the shots basically inside the studio. So you see we have directors and technical directors in the studio, and those people are used to, of course, like cut, they push a lot of buttons. The director usually tells the technical director what to do, and the technical director pushes the buttons. They do cut, they put whatever they need to do, have on there. We have different channels for every story that we do as far as packages and VO/SOTs. We have the teleprompter person, which you can very slightly see. If you see that screen that's like moving up on the right, you see it like it has like letters and it's moving up. That's where the teleprompter is, and they just, of course, follow the anchor. Very important. Follow the anchor. They don't do it themselves, and they will go over and have them reading that. And then we have our graphics person, which, like I said, is on the left of the girl sitting down. Oh, yay, we're getting a full shot of it. Okay, yes, that's our teleprompter, as you can see, and she's using the little scroll to go through so that the anchors can read. We have audio in the studio, or we have audio in the control room, but in the studio we have anchors, camera people, weather. What else do we have? Those are the main positions. Floor director, like I said, which calls the shots, tells the anchors whenever they're on camera, make sure everything runs smoothly. And lately with COVID, we've been using the floor director as the camera person. So if you see right there, you see he's moving the camera through the window. He's actually the floor director, and he's going and moving the cameras for us because we can't have too many people in the studio at the same time due to COVID. Let's see what else.
You can wave, put you on camera.
When does Cronkite News anticipate regularly streaming on Twitch? Oh, that's a good question. I actually don't know. It's still like a trial run for us. We're still, getting the hang of things. We've only been doing it. I think this is only the second week. We took a week off from last week. So we've only done it. This is just our second week. It's still a trial run. But if we keep doing good and people seem to actually be enjoying it, and it looks like something that we can do to help spread news and, help people and make people, like I said, are actually interested in, then we can of course keep doing it, hopefully regularly, but we'll see. Okay, so enough of the control room. We've seen the control room, we've seen the studio. Now I'm gonna take you to the newsroom side of it. So we're gonna see what all they are doing there. So this is the newsroom. This is where you'll see people, which there's not many people in right now, like I said, because of COVID. So this is where usually you'll see people running their scripts. Some people might be in meetings because we have meetings throughout the day in Cronkite News. You'll see people researching stories. And then we also have edit bays in there for people to edit and work on video stories that they have. Like I said, you don't see many people in there right now, but it's just simply due to COVID. Usually that room is packed with people because usually we're all here every day of the week from like 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. But more recently, we usually only have a few people in at a time, and we actually have to schedule before we can even come in. But do you guys have any questions about it? Let's see, what's Prod Pod? Okay, good question. So that's our production side. That is what helps us whenever it comes to making sure we get our scripts and everything in. They help put everything that needs to be in the rundown for the day. They help plan out what stories are getting used. And they usually are seen around here. But with the show going on too, that also explains why there aren't too many people around. What are some more questions, guys? I love when you guys ask me questions. I love being able to let you guys know things around. I guess I can go in while I wait for you guys to come into your question, come ask your questions. Tell you guys more about me. So for freshmen that are tuning in, I guess I can share my experience and why I chose journalism. I specifically chose journalism because, I don't know, my aunt, she was an anchor, and so I always grew up looking at her tell stories, and I got to be around the studio a lot, and so that always intrigued me. And then the more that the older I got, whenever I got into high school, I started working into film production. And so I got to see working with cameras, and I really enjoyed doing that. And then I decided, why not combine the two? So I started looking into journalism schools. Like I said, I'm from Texas. I had never been to Arizona in my life, but I saw that Walter Cronkite was a very great school for journalism and mass communication. And so I was like, let's do it. So literally, like a couple weeks before the semester started, I flew down and got enrolled and started on my journey. And it's been a really great one. I just love being able to tell people stories. I love being able to work with a bunch of people. I love being able to work as a team, and journalism has just been a really great major to do all of that. So enough of the newsroom. Let's go see what our studio is looking like now. So we're back to the studio. You can see that they are still getting ready to do stuff. I'm surprised there's not stand-ups. So usually some people will come in to do stand-ups, and they will record them in front of the green screen, and usually our prod pod has a bunch of cool stuff, cool graphics and stuff they'll add in to help our stories. And for all of you who doesn't know what fronting is whenever we don't have a stand-up in a package story, but the people who made the story still want to be seen and included into the story. So we'll have them fronted, and that's when they just they read their anchor headline and introduce the story right before it ends, and do the anchor tag to exit out of the story. And yeah. So let's check back in and see. Tyler, are you there? Let's see. Tyler, are you?
Yes, hi Brianna. I'm here. I don't know if you can see me. Yes, hi Brianna.
Hi.
I'm helping with the studio. Yes. On standby. If you
Let's see. Some
If you want to ask any
audio
questions, maybe we can talk to Reed. Does that sound good?
issues.
Get some anchor perspective.
See if we can fix that. Okay, Tyler.
We have this camera right here. Our reporter isn't necessarily ready yet.
Okay, Tyler. Sorry, we're having some more audio issues.
I hear that. I hear that audio. It's no worries.
Let's see. Okay, Tyler, could you? Okay, Tyler, could you?
All right, so what if we were just talking now? All right, so like I was saying earlier, what we just did, we set up a shot for a reporter who's not ready yet. But I have Reed here, so we're gonna do a little socially distanced mic action here. Reed, how do you like anchoring Cronkite News?
Can you hear me? Does that work? Okay.
Yes.
So I'd say reporting is definitely my favorite thing to do, just to meet new people and get new stories. But anchoring is something that I've kind of like dreamed of doing ever since, I've wanted to get into this industry. So having the opportunity to come here and be able to do that every Thursday and be with a great group of people, like, makes it worth a lot, to do a bunch of stories and be able to tell them and be able to do it every Thursday with Jenna. So it's a good time. Yeah.
And you think it's been affected by coronavirus? How?
Been what?
How do you think anchoring
has affected it?
Changed? Like, what's different? Do you think about this?
Well, we talk about COVID a lot. That's a good one. I think just the way the newscast is set up itself is we stand at two opposite sides, and before it was you'd be at the table. I kind of prefer standing. It's a lot more comfortable for me, and I feel less nervous when I'm standing too. I don't know. Everyone has their own way of doing it, but I think those are kind of the main reasons why. And I think you have to be aware of when you can take your mask off, because that's the only time you can take your mask off. So it sucks, but it's what we have to do to stay safe. So yeah.
And obviously, the fact that we are still doing a newscast, we can stream it to y'all on Twitch right now.
This is really cool.
Is impressive, right?
Yeah.
The fact that we made it to this point, the fact that we have a newscast where we all can stand up there together, but also socially distanced. We can all be safe. We're obviously all wearing masks, but Reed's gonna take his mask off when he's on camera, of course. What do you think is your absolute favorite part of getting to be here?
Physically in this building, this is my favorite building ever. I love coming here. I love the people. The edit bays are amazing to just sit there and work and grind out different packages. And I think just, having an opportunity, like I said, just being with a great group of people and, doing what I want to do and hopefully get into this business. So.
Hey Tyler, I was wondering.
I'm gonna bring in our sports guy. Oh, Brianna, yes, absolutely.
We're wondering, what's the most exciting class you took at Cronkite News?
Ooh, all right. We're gonna ask our sports guy Marco that question. Marco, we had a viewer ask, "What's the most exciting class you took in your time here?" And you're socially distanced, you can take the mic.
Ooh, okay. The most exciting class I've taken since I've been here at Cronkite, I would say that's a really good question. I think the new one that's right now, it's JMC 394. That's a new play-by-play class here at Arizona State. The one that teaches it this semester is Gary Thorne, Hall of Fame broadcaster for the Baltimore Orioles. But I took the other class with John Bloom. He's a Phoenix Suns radio announcer. So it's fun because it's real-life professionals that are within the business, and they teach you so much stuff. Like me, in those couple weeks I've been in that classroom, I've learned how to be a better broadcaster, better play-by-play guy. So I would say JMC 394 has been my favorite class.
So obviously, you're sports.
Yeah.
This is a newsroom. This is a newscast, not necessarily a sportscast, but you get to be in it. How awesome is it that you get to come up here and do 3 minutes of sports in the news?
Well, first off, just the fact that sports are back on Cronkite News, it feels good, just to be able to add some kind of different kick to it, and just giving some type of good news and regarding sports here around the Valley of the Sun, talking about Cardinals or Phoenix Suns, so it's a fun time, So it's been a joy to be here with Cronkite News and just doing that every single Thursday. It's been a blessing of itself. It's been great. So yeah.
So Brianna, this is Marco Peralta, right? You're in Toronto. Just introduce yourself. Give people a little bio maybe.
Okay, a little bio. Okay, so my name is Marco. I am from El Centro, California. It's a 3.5 hour drive from here. So it's a small little town, but we're here at Phoenix, just working hard, chasing dreams, representing Cronkite the best way we can. So it's a great school to come to, it's a whole lot of fun. So yeah, hopefully we can represent this school even beyond a graduation, so it's a good time.
We're doing innovative stuff like going on Twitch.
Yeah, oh man.
Newscast, right?
No, the fact that Twitch is a growing platform, and like if we can jump on it, that we are already, this is amazing. We're gonna go places with Twitch without a doubt.
Absolutely, and we're doing TikToks. I filmed the TikTok the other day.
Yeah, TikTok is fun too. TikTok is really fun. Have little sketches in there, comedy ones too at the same time. Mix it up a little bit,
You did a makeup one a few weeks ago, I think, right?
Yeah, I did one.
Tell the people, you all gotta follow us at Cronkite News on TikTok. For this guy, tell him about the funny one you did a few weeks ago.
Okay, so I've done, I think, 2 pretty funny ones.
Okay.
So, like, when I first started doing the sports segment, there was this, it was Jordan Spurgeon and Jake Santo downstairs on the 2nd floor. They were saying, like, hey, let's make a TikTok that since you got the sports segment host, anchor, you get your own security team. So we did a TikTok of them being my security guards.
Love that.
And then the other one is, like, kind of added on to that series of getting the anchor spot, is you get your own makeup team. So Kaylee Connors and Marley Smith also downstairs are like, hey, we're gonna do your makeup since you're the sports anchor. I'm like, I'm liking this now. So it was some pretty good TikToks to share.
VIP treatment.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's awesome. All right, I think we're gonna start doing more of the show. Marco, appreciate your time. But yeah, y'all. So Reed, and we talked to earlier, Jenna, who y'all saw try to get mic'd up earlier, are about to actually practice this show. So we're gonna give them a little bit of quiet, and I'll bring the mic over there too, so y'all can hear what they're saying.
Awesome. And for those of you who might be curious about the process of becoming an anchor or really anything for Cronkite News, you have to go through pre-request classes to be able to qualify to get into Cronkite News, which is a professional program that you are required to do to graduate. So whenever you go into ASU, you'll have a bunch of classes that you're required to take. It'll be like JMC 101, which is like the intro level class. We have JMC 201, JMC 305, and all these classes will prepare you to go into Cronkite News. The last class that you are required to take is JMC 330, so it goes 345, which is videography, and JMC 330, which is television reporting. And once you have done all of those classes and all the writing classes that you have to take, you'll be able to apply to go into Cronkite News. You can do Cronkite News as much as you want. It's not only a one-time thing. I know some people who've been doing it. This is their 3rd semester doing it. So whenever you apply for it to be your professional program, you'll go through signing up for it, and you'll have a position that you can ask for. There'll be multiple. This year we did it more of like a questionnaire, asking us like preferred days, asking us what positions we'd want. And if you want to do something like anchoring, you have the audition process of it. This year we have 2 anchors for each day of the week. And then we have our weather people as well that, if I'm correct, there's 5, one for each day of the week as well. And so if you guys are just wondering about that process, that's how it is. So we have some people asking, what is something you wish you would have known as a first-year student coming into ASU? That's a good question. Something I wish I would have known, maybe to try to go ahead and get some of the required classes that you need to take before getting to Cronkite News ahead of time. This year I'm doing Cronkite News. This is my only semester doing it, and I don't think I'll do another semester of it, just because I'll only have like 2 more classes that I need to do to be finished. So, but I know whenever I just finished 330, which was the last class last semester, and you typically do all of that maybe like your junior year, but I kind of, as a freshman, I didn't realize that if you go onto the My ASU profile, it literally has all the classes that you should take like in order for each semester. And I didn't figure that out until like junior year. So I was just putting a bunch of classes in that I knew I would need, but I just didn't put it in an order that probably would have been the best. So maybe like looking into that, I wish I would have known that my freshman year. If you guys are curious what I'm talking about, if you go onto your My ASU page, you'll see where it's like in the little box. It's in a box, and it says it says on track, or it could say off track for some of you. But if you click on it, it'll show you basically like kind of like an audit of everything that you've taken, and then all the classes that you'll need to take. And that is a very helpful tool. Especially like, let's say if you need to figure out what classes you need to take, you don't have time to wait for an advisor or anything like that. That will show you the classes that you need to take, and it's a very, very, very helpful tool that you should use throughout the whole years, all the years that you're at Cronkite or ASU. Okay, so while they record and get ready to do their rehearsals, I am going to take you back to the control room so that you guys can see what they're up to. So we have them waiting around. If you see there's Angel, she's typing away, probably trying to figure out what else needs to be done for the show, getting everything imported. It looks like they're running through packages and stories as well, making sure that all the videos are correct, that everything is working correctly to get ready to do the rehearsals. Things that they'll check right now is making sure that the videos play all throughout the time that they're supposed to. I've seen times whenever the video stops in the middle of it and it's like, what happened? Like, and having to figure all of that out. So they're just doing that ahead of time so it doesn't do that in the middle of the rehearsal and then we're all like stuck. And then you see so if you see that is Jenna, she's anchoring, and she's reading off a headline to go. She's either doing a voiceover SOT, which if some of you don't know, I know we get this question a lot. What's a voiceover? What's a SOT? Voiceover is, a VO is voiceover. A SOT is sound on tape. Voiceover, essentially, an example of that could be right now, where you see on program, the screen that I was talking about with the little green underneath it, you see it's going on air. And if it's a VO, then Tyler will be reading right now. If it's a package, she's not reading. It's just going on its own audio right now. So, yeah. Let's see. I am Sam Jr. said, say hi to Elisa Adams for me. Hi, Alyssa Adams. If you didn't get that, hi again. I am Sam Jr. wants you to know that she says hi. Okay, so another question. What does a reporter do? So for our reporting side of it, like I said, I'm a broadcast reporter as well, and I report for the social justice team. And essentially what all reporters, no matter what your niche is, we go out and we find stories, we pitch ideas of what we want to do our videos on, or if you're a digital reporter, what you want to write your story on. And we go out, we find the interviews for them, we have the interviews, we schedule them, we have them, we get any clips, B-roll that we need. If you're on the digital side of it, you write your story. We have, if you're a broadcast reporter, then you film your story. Broadcast reporters also will do a lot of editing, video editing, just preparing basically for what you see on screen right now. That's what we do. We do these interviews with people. We go out and we shoot what we feel would be right and proper for the story. And digital reporters, they'll get their articles usually aired on Cronkite News. Broadcast reporters will usually get ours aired on Cronkite News, and sometimes we'll have them on our website as well. How many different reporting teams are there at Cronkite News? Good question. So we have a lot of different ones. I can't think of the exact number right now, but I know if I can name off some of them. Borderlands, we have that. Health, we have our social justice team. We have our, what are some more that we have currently? We have our we have a lot of different ones. It's hard to give an exact number on them. Oh, thank you. Next generation. We have our next gen. We have that team, which is great. We have a lot of different teams out here, and we have. Let's see. We have a lot of different ones. We have our Cronkite Noticias, which is our Cronkite news channel in Spanish to air out. Let's see. What is it like to be on camera? Great question. So it depends on which camera you're talking about. Whenever we do broadcast reporting, a lot of times we do stand-ups or, like I said before, fronting. Those are nice. Usually whenever you do broadcast reporting and you're doing a stand-up, that's usually you basically being in front of the camera and you're kind of shooting your own shots, unless you have a cameraman, you're that great and special. But currently, usually when I do mine, it's just me. And that one's a little easier. That one's nice because it's just you and the camera. You can do it as many times as you need to, really easy. But in terms of on cameras and like anchoring and stuff, that one's a little more pressure. It's very fun, it's very nice, and it's great to look at later, but it's also can be a little nerve-wracking because whenever you go live, it's live, so if you mess up, you mess up. But overall, it's a really great time, it's really fun, and it's really nice to be able to put that in reels and know that you'll be able to show that to other people that you intend on working for. So it's great, it has its perks, it's a nice feeling.
And then if you're going up north for the weekend, look at the Grand Canyon, 62 degrees, so a lot cooler temperatures.
All right, let's head to the studio. I Am Sam Jr. says that Alyssa's walking around right now, so let's see if we can spot her.
You're going to want to keep your eye on that. And then looking at the rest.
So back to the studio. As you can see, they're on their weather portion right now. And if you see, yep, there we go. Alyssa Adams right there. Look at her waving, saying hi. There is Alyssa Adams. And then let's see if she wants to say anything. Tyler, is there any way that you could call her over?
Yes,
What we'll do
we can
is,
talk to
if they're
Alyssa.
airing right now,
We
I'm
can
sure they're
talk to
doing
Alyssa.
rehearsals, so
Alyssa,
they're quiet.
so you're out here
So
right
she
now
probably
during the
can't talk right now,
newscast.
but we'll try to
What are
pull her
you-
over later.
What are you
if
doing
not
out
now.
here right now? What's your role?
So I'm listening to the reads. Right now we're listening to Marco. I want to make sure he's got energy. With each of the anchors, they have things that they're sort of working on in terms of their delivery. So I'm listening to their delivery, making sure that they're hitting just the right note. And if they're not, I'm trying to give them some tips on how to perk it up, pump it up, get that energy up there, get the intonation right, maybe the pacing's off, doing some delivery work. And the other thing that I'm doing is just double checking all of the content as I hear it coming through on the scripts. Like, was that a hard read for them? Does that make sense to the viewer? Can we switch it up? Do we have to change it? So, just listening. Right now I'm listening to Marco.
So Marco is the sports guy we talked to earlier. He's actually off camera, but I'm gonna see if I can just pan on camera a little bit, and maybe we can see Marco. Let's see.
So you see him, he's doing the Cronkite Sports Report. I don't know how many of you saw our Twitch where we followed around broadcast sports reporters and hung around them in the studio. But as you can see, he's looking at his iPad, which has the, it's not the teleprompter, but it's ENPS, and that's actually where we go put the scripts in so that they can put it on the teleprompter and get it ready for the show. So he's looking through it, and you'll see he's standing in front of the TV that most likely says Cronkite Sports, and it'll show little graphics and things like that on it as well. Also, answering the question that I could not answer before, but I have the answer now. We have Borderlands, RWJF Health Initiative, Sustainability, Money, Social Justice, Politics, Sports, and Next Generation. Those are all that we offer here at Cronkite News. So now I have the answer. And as you see, they're just going over it some more. Let's see.
So, Brianna, why don't I'll explain. So, Marco has, so in a newscast, right, there's different blocks. You start with the A block, right? Makes sense, top of the alphabet. Then you're going to move into the B block after your first commercial break. Then you move into C in a regular newscast, a D and E block, depending on how long your newscast is. Here at Cronkite News with Arizona PBS channel 8.1 on your dial, we only have 18 minutes for our show. So we have two blocks, an A and a B. Your A block was rehearsed earlier. We heard Reed and Jenna do their reads, did their packages. A B block is almost entirely sports. With Marco, who's talking now.
Extremely excited to watch this year's tournament. But some of the participating athletes have gone to Twitter to express their frustrations with their use of image and likeness.
Can we get the camera turned to him?
The hashtag not NCAA property started trending this morning on Twitter. Athletes are using it to discuss how they cannot receive any profit from the use of their name and likeness.
Awesome.
Also, the hashtag, the movement itself is asking the NCAA to change
So you guys can see him
athletes so they can have representation and be paid.
doing his Cronkite sports report.
With all the exciting new acquisitions by the Arizona Cardinals, the fans also say goodbye to some franchise faces. Running back Kenyon Drake and quarterback Patrick.
And let's, oh, okay. Look at that fancy shot right there. Thank you for that. That is what he is reading off. So this is actually a good example of a voiceover. So you guys saw him speaking, and this is what you see. And now he's back on camera. Nice shot. And so we're ending the show around here. You'll see it go back to the anchors who will close it out. They're doing the follow us on all platforms and the break it down, which is the end. Now, if I'm correct, they should be doing another one. I'm pretty sure this was just rehearsals. So you'll see them go through and do all of this over again. Great. Nice shot.
So, what Elisa was talking to y'all about earlier, her role, she's our feedback person, right? So she is a big deal. She won't tell you that, but she's a big deal. She's the executive producer of Arizona PBS. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, she gets to be in studio with us. We get her in studio in here. And she gets to give the anchors feedback. So that's why she's out here right now. Every time they finish a read or a rehearsal, she's going to tell them, hey, let's bring the energy up. Hey, let's hit this word with more emphasis so the viewer knows that's more important than the rest of that sentence. You know what I mean? So that's what she's doing right now. That's why you see her go over there and go, whoa, let's get that. That's what that is. And it's really great. And then you see her talking to Marco right now about what he just did. So it's fantastic. We're always trying to grow here. We're always trying to get better. And that we have great faculty like Elisa Adams who do that. And it's just a great program with great directors, great faculty, great staff, obviously great resources. I mean, y'all can see this is crazy, right? That we have this professional studio, but yeah, I thought that was kind of important.
And I'm glad that he mentioned that, all the resources that we do provide here. Cronkite is so great with everything that they offer to the students. You know, we have a whole jet lab dedicated to giving students equipment to help them go out and report and have the technology that they need to have for the show. And we also, I learned a really cool fact about the equipment we have there. You see the cameras? Well, I was told that those cameras alone cost around $150,000 for just one. So that's really cool that they offer things like that to us, because not many schools do that. And it's just another reason to come to Cronkite and be able to experience this with us, because it's really great. We have really great teams and really great staff, like Tyler said. So, let's see. They're going to get ready to do their show. Let's see if we can go back to the control room and see what they're up to again. Okay, so we're back in the control room, and it'll be really interesting when they're going through the actual live show. Hi guys, can they hear me? No, wave. Can't hear me. I don't think they can. But it'll be really great to see them do their work and see from this side of it too what goes on. Because I know a lot of you probably might not want to do the studio side of it. Maybe you guys want to do the control room side of it. Maybe you guys want to direct, technical direct, produce. And here's that side of it. This is the best place to do it. You don't get this many resources, and not even just resources with technology, even resources when it comes to our staff, our directors that we have. We have so many great directors that help lead us in the right paths when it comes to making stories and just trying to make sure that we deliver the best products and grow. Growing is like the most important thing, and they are always, we make mistakes, things happen, and they're so open to that. They're open to working with us. So as a freshman coming in, that's something that you guys don't have to worry about. There's always going to be someone at Cronkite ready to help you. There's always going to be a director, a professor. So many of them have so much experience, so much experience. And whenever you're able to be in an environment where it's a team, everyone wants to see, everyone succeed, it's the best feeling ever. And knowing that everyone comes together to make things like this happen, there's not one person that does anything for each show. It's all put together. We're all a team, and we all work hard to make sure that we deliver best results and we all grow together.
Hey Evan, I just want to make sure for 8:15, that's my.
And so let's see. I guess I'll tell you guys one of my favorite stories that I've reported on, just to give some more information about me. So one of my favorite stories that I've reported on is actually one of the more recent ones that hasn't aired yet. So it's a little exclusive for Cronkite News. It's a story about the first Indigenous Native American Catacaught winner. It's a really great story, and I think I enjoyed this story the most because I got to see another side that I'm not usually really exposed to. I'm from a small town, Texas. You don't really get that much diversity where I'm from, so it was really great being able to speak with someone who won such a significant award. Being the first Indigenous person to win that award, it's just so significant, and being able to talk to multiple resources for it. So not only did I get to talk to the author herself, but I got to speak with a librarian who has actually had a lot of struggles with it, and being able to hear his side and being able to hear how much passion and emotion he spoke with, and with everything that he said, and just how much it meant to him to even be interviewed and to be spoken to about this topic. It meant so much because I was able to tell a story that a lot of people probably aren't exposed to and don't realize that Indigenous cultures struggle with. So if you guys are interested in that story, it will air sometime within this next week. It's already ready, so it'll be up and airing. So just keep tuning in to Cronkite News to hear it. Let's see, it's about 5 minutes. So we'll go back to the studio. We only have 5 minutes left. So we'll go back to the studio. I'll show you guys around and end it on a great note. You guys will see back at the studio. Tyler, is there anything that you would like to say to any incoming freshmen or ASU students in general?
Yeah, I would say that it's a phenomenal place. It's been the best 4 years of my life, not to be too cliche and ridiculous, but I mean, no, it's phenomenal. I actually think it'd be really interesting if we got into the head of an anchor right before a show, because they're about to go live to tape. So let me try to get Reed over here. Maybe I can get Reed over here for our Twitch.
We'd love that.
Let's just get inside Reed's head right before a show, right? Because as he's got to put his mask on, right, as he comes over to talk to us. But right before a show, right, you only get to do this one time. This is live to tape, right, to Arizona PBS, which is broadcast to 2.9 million homes. Not something you want to think about, but I just made him think about it before a show. So Reed, right before a show, what's going through your head? How do you mentally prepare? What's going on up there?
No pressure, Reed. I try not to overthink it. You look at words, but you don't want to look at them too much, because then you're really going to mess up on those, because it's all you think about. And then hearing words that Elisa tells us, where you want to punch certain words or where you want to drag some words out. So you look at those things. So that kind of gets all in your head. But at the end of the day, you're just reading, you know, and you're trying to enunciate things the right way. So all these things are going through your head. Everything else is kind of just outside of that.
So it's pressure, hypothetically, right?
Yeah,
But
definitely.
At the end of the day, you're doing what you love. You're on TV. You're talking about what's going on in the world. It can't be that bad, right?
It's not terrible. I mean, the stories are great, and that's what makes it a lot better, is because we all do a really good job of our stories, and it makes it easy for us to convey those. So it's not too much pressure, but it is a little bit pressure when you want to convey them the right way for those reporters that do them. So.
Yeah, and for the communities, obviously, like I said,
100%.
This is broadcast to a lot of homes across Arizona, and we
Yeah,
want
you
those
mentioned
stories
that.
to be told the correct way. I feel like a lot of times journalists can be construed as taking an angle or doing this or that, but at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is help the communities. We're trying to tell these stories, right? So by being able to do this, it's a blast.
Oh, it's so much fun, and the crew that I get to do it with is amazing. So Thursday is my favorite day because the best people are here, and I get to anchor, and it's a lot of fun. So
And we get to do this on Twitch.
get to do this on Twitch, get to talk to everyone. I'm sure you're having a great time.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
and I'm having a great time.
Cool.
I wonder if we can get Jenna. Jenna, do you have time to come talk to the people for a sec?
Yes, give them a
She's on her way. She's
final.
gonna throw her mask on.
We
Jenna,
have
so
1
Reed
minute
is actually
left.
graduating in a month. Jenna, really quick. We have 1 minute. We have 1 minute. Okay.
Get all your
Really quick,
thoughts
really quick. You're on
in.
deadline.
30 seconds, 30 seconds.
Deadlines are big here. Okay. Quick thoughts. 30 seconds. Quick thoughts. Anything before your show. Go.
Thoughts. Sometimes I'll put a song in my head. Yeah, I put a little song on, maybe like Bohemian Rhapsody. It hypes you up. Why not? You just gotta go out there and just be confident and just keep going. Try not to get stuck.
Boom.
That's
Grammy music. You're being played off. Amazing. Brianna.
Thank you
back to
guys. Thank you guys so much. So, thank you guys for tuning in and hearing our Twitch. Don't forget to follow us on all these awesome social medias, please, please, please. And TikTok, it's not up there, but follow us there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and tune in with us later. Thanks for watching.